Hello there, this is Claire Boscott and I am your host today for a new mystery shopping expert interview, and today all the way from not that far away, are we? Sophie, you're based in the UK, so we're across the channel from each other, aren't we? Whereabouts are you in the UK?
I'm actually down in Cornwall, so all the way down. Yeah, it's
nice and sunny down there, isn't it?
Sometimes it's a bit of a myth. It rains more than it's sunny, but don't tell everyone that.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it is the end of October, so we can accept that there's a bit of rain really going on.
We can.
So Sophie, we've known each other for quite a few years now, because obviously you're part of a company which is called Mystery Shoppers Limited. How long has the company been going on?
It's been going on for 29 years.
Wow.
So a long time. It was started the year I was born, so it was my dad that started the company.
Oh wow!
And,
yeah, business.
Exciting year for my dad. Yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah, it is a family business, and I took it on about 6 years ago. I joined the company, and I probably my father's sort of semi-retired. He's still chairman. He's still actively involved. But I took over the managing director position in about 5 years ago now.
Excellent. Oh, I didn't realize that was your dad that kind of started the company. Excellent.
Yeah.
So you kind of grew up with that industry, don't you? I mean, one of the story, my new book is when I started the business, my daughter was about 8 years old, and I used to take her mystery shopping with me and doing some visits. She had a pad and she used to write things down, the name of people. And also, were you like that with your dad? Were you starting doing mystery shopping from very young age?
Well, he didn't really do a lot of it with me. I think right from the very beginning, though, everywhere we went, it was all about customer experience, whether he was working or not. And no matter how embarrassing it was always about customer experience and making sure that, that things were as best as they could be. So yeah, you definitely are surrounded by having expectations throughout my childhood.
Yeah, you were born with it. You kind of, you had something already in there drilled into you.
Exactly. It definitely helped me with my earlier career, and just knowing that importance of customer experience. It definitely really, really made that difference for me when I was sort of, out and about working in my younger years.
Do you specialize in any specific industry, or do you really kind of do any type of organization?
We do anything. We do have some specializations. We do a lot of banking. We do a lot of fundraising for sort of the fundraisers that go out on the street and in different sites to make sure that
so you're mystery shopping the fundraisers.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. Okay, that's really cool. What kind of measurement are you mystery shopping then?
Compliance. So to make sure that they are following their industry standards and making sure that they are taking the appropriate steps, and so that they can all be sure that they are complying with their industry regulations. Yeah.
Have you seen something actually with the pandemic? Have you seen some new clients or some new requests from clients to things that you hadn't done before?
Absolutely. And I think that's what, with all these things, when there's lots of doors closed, there's lots of opportunities, isn't there? And I think the fact that they have all been able to do we do virtual tours for estate agents. We've done virtual tours for museums and all sorts of things, so that people can still have that experience, but safely. When a lot of companies are just trying to think how else can they still sort of replicate that customer experience that everybody loves, but in with the new way that the world is going. So it's definitely changing, but I think for the better. I think digitalization is going to be sort of speeding up now, and I think this has almost just pushed a lot of the consumers into the digital way, whereas before they would have perhaps been a bit more reluctant. And I think actually being forced to do it that way will help us to sort of move all the companies forward and be better long term.
Mm. And I guess, yes, I mean, you were saying, yeah, virtual tools and mystery shopping, the tools and that kind of things. Chat box, you know, those are
Yeah.
the kind of things that perhaps, and I had one client who was doing that, you know, last year, but that was really kind of very early stages, where now it really kind of opened up all those communications.
Exactly. There's all sorts of different ways now, isn't there? And text even, social media. There is a lot more reliance now on all those online communication channels, and it's up to the clients really to make sure that the solutions they're putting in place now for all businesses are longer term, because it's not going to change back anytime soon. So it's really important that they are looking at all of those channels and making sure that they've got that accessibility open for all of their customers.
Do you think that it's changed the way the consumers approach the businesses as well?
Definitely. And I think there's expectations. COVID is no longer an excuse for a business not to give a good customer experience. It needs to be right. Their expectations are still high. And I think it's really important that the customer experience isn't forgotten. And I think that's what's we're sort of trying to really drive to all of our clients at the moment is, yes, it's important to be compliant, but that experience that someone's having, like people are still going out for the very first time now. And if they go into a shop and they're welcome, they're not sure what to do. They don't know which way to go round. They don't know how to queue. They don't know which sanitization points they should be using. I think it's so important that the teams in the stores appreciate that and respect that they are unsure, and they're not necessarily trying to defy the rules, but they're just a bit confused and not really sure what to do. And so making sure that they manage that without sort of treating them like they've done something wrong is really important, because they would just choose not to go back. If their experience is upset them, they're not going to go back, and it would just be such a shame, you know, that's happening. I know it's happened to me. Where you just it's just, I think when you're going out, you're putting a lot of faith in where you're going, and you're making that decision to put yourself out there. So you want to, the service, you know, the product and whatever you're going for is important, but it's also a nerve-wracking experience, and making sure that the staff are aware of that and handle their customers with a lot of care is definitely what's going to really put them ahead of a lot of their competitors at the moment.
What do you think? Well, obviously the biggest challenges at the moment for organization in terms of, is it more operational that they're trying to find their way around doing things operationally?
I think there's a lot changing every day. Guidelines are changing every day, all at different parts of the country. And I think operationally managing that is a huge challenge. I think it is a time thing. And I think sometimes there's sort of too much reliance on if they don't hear any complaints, then things aren't going badly. Whereas actually you just can't rely on sort of a lack of complaints or customer satisfaction survey on the back of a receipt. I think making sure that customer experience is a good one is being left behind a little bit at the moment, because they're just so sort of churning as much as they can, which is understandable, but it is just trying to find that balance at the moment, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you obviously 29 years, your dad started the Mystery Shoppers Limited. So it kind of is, there's a key in the title, but do you offer more than just mystery shopping?
We do. We really want to make sure that all of the areas that help to improve customer experience are covered by, and that we can help in those ways. So my dad was the customer experience expert. That was him. He was very much from a background of pure customer experience. So my expertise is performance management and managing teams and people and keeping the teams engaged. And that's exactly what I've tried to bring into the company now, so that we can cover all of those angles and make sure that it isn't just that sort of output that we're focusing on, that we're focusing on all of the drivers that push that customer experience forward. So we do employee engagement surveys now, and we do training. We do focus groups for employees just to get that real sort of in-depth feedback, and all sorts, just to really make sure that all areas are covered.
Yeah, I think I was reading your LinkedIn profile, and it's got the same kind of feeling as what I talk about as well. It's, you know, helping businesses or all industry to improve employees' engagement level. You know, if you've got engaged, happy, inspired employees, they'll give great customer experience, won't they? And that's really where we want to look, and how we want to help businesses to improve.
Definitely, they are the forefront of your business, and if they are not engaged and happy and knowing what they're doing and delivering the right service, it's just going to fail straight away.
So do you measure that? How do you measure that? How do you measure that in terms of mystery shopping? Do you have specific questions which will pick up on the employee's engagement?
No, we tend to do it, and we use the same software, and we will focus the assessments just on the employees themselves. So it will be the employees themselves filling out the assessment, and they will then they basically answer questions about their company and how they feel their role is, how they feel it's all going. And what we do is we just tie that data into the platform for the mystery shopping, so that the clients can see the engagement data next to the mystery shopping data and really sort of see a holistic view of what's going on for those teams, and where there's often going to be a correlation between the least engaged and the poorer performing sites, and that is definitely it's so important to have those two together, so that you can really make those improvements as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's also a lot in terms of training as well, isn't there? I mean, I see as one of the key part of any businesses is to give some training. I mean, one thing that just flabbergasts me is seeing organizations spending thousands of dollars or pounds in advertising, but then they're not training their staff, and you just think that just doesn't work together. Why are you doing this?
Exactly. I think a lot of it's collecting data as well. You see them spend a lot of money collecting data on the market and maybe even their customer experience, but not actually then channeling that back into anything. And it actually, I think training alongside mystery shopping works perfectly, because you save a lot of money, because you can introduce a lot of the aspects from training and embedding training into culture through a mystery shopping program. And then you can then focus your efforts on training the ones that really need it, rather than having to retrain the whole company once every 6 months because it's still not going the way that you'd hope. So I absolutely, totally agree. I think training is so important, and it is something that needs to be ongoing. Absolutely. My team probably are fed up with all the training that I offer to them. I think they're like, okay, we're okay now.
Yeah, but you know, also they're very lucky that you have got that, you know, mindset of doing it, because it also makes you feel valued as an employee. You know, if somebody gives me some training, if somebody gives me some tools that I can improve my own performances, you know, you feel happy. You would feel like, you know, they're really genuinely caring about you.
Exactly. I think as well, we've done a lot where we still had teams on furlough, where we haven't quite got everything back yet, and bringing them all together whilst they're all at home at the moment as well, and having that training so that they can all be together, they can all communicate, they can have a bit of a laugh as well as learn, is so important at the moment, and is exactly, it will totally help with their engagement levels. And I think there are still teams out there that are going to be, you know, are still working from home for a long time, and I think making sure that you can get everybody together in those sort of online training sessions is so valuable.
So mystery shopping is a super, I mean, we love it, obviously.
We're biased, yeah.
We're totally bit biased. But it has to be part of a whole CX strategy, you know, and different measurements help with different things, don't they? I mean, you talked about survey. Do you also do surveys for customers as well as employees?
Yes, we do. We try and stick to telephone. We do offer email, but we like to make sure that we can really get the best chance of getting those customers to answer it, because email surveys, it only tends to be certain types that will say yes please or no thank you depending on the incentive. So we try and do the telephone ones where we can, which work really well. Yeah, it's
and texting as well. Do you do texting and inquiries?
We have done before, yes, managing text. Yes,
That's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think both on the sort of collecting the data, you've got a lot of opportunity there, because people are on their phones a lot, aren't they? And it definitely does seem a lot easier to respond to something with a text message. And equally, I think people rely on their phones so much more to communicate with businesses now, don't they? I think I think I've had 4 texts this morning from different businesses, so they are all using it. So it's important to measure it, but also use it as a tool yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. So, Sophie, let's talk about mystery shoppers. So to be able to do mystery shopping, we need mystery shoppers. How is that going? I mean, what kind of challenges are you finding to get your team together? How many people do you have on your books?
Gosh, we have something like over 330,000 something.
No way!
Yes.
50,000 on the books.
It's a lot. We work globally, so we open our panel up. So we like to accept anybody who would like to be a mystery shopper onto our panel, and we think it's really important that our mystery shoppers, that where it's appropriate, that they match the customer profile as best as possible. Yeah. So in order to do that, we don't put any restrictions on sort of the skills or development, because it just means that then we've got that really, really wide range of profiles. And when we do get a difficult one, which we do, we are one of the quirkier mystery shopping programs is kind of what we pick up quite a lot of the time. So the profiles tend to be very, 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 very difficult to recruit. So so by widening it out, and then what we do is we have different certifications that the shoppers can fill out so that they can become more experienced in different areas. But it's so important for us that we do have that wide range of profiles, more so that it is a set of skills, because we will help them, things like filling out the assessment forms and stuff. We help them as much as we can for those that struggle with it a little bit more. And then when there's something more complicated that is required, that does need somebody that really does know what they're doing, we have the certifications just that they can fill out that sort of say, yes, I know what I'm doing on this one, and here's me filling out a test to say, like, this is it, and we'll pass them on that test, those answers.
What would you say the one or two of the most important characteristics? It's a hard word for a French person. To become a mystery shopper. I used to love having those emails. Oh, I love shopping. I'd be a great mystery shopper. So do people have to love shopping?
I don't think they need to love shopping. I think it obviously helps. I think it's a whole range of things, isn't it? But I think somebody that is really good at, like, understanding what the brief is, and making sure that they understand what is required and happy to put the time in to make sure that they do it right. I think that's really important, because some of them can be quite specific, can't they, in terms of what they can and can't do, and making sure that they really do understand all of the requirements, and that they ask if they're not sure is a really important skill. Definitely. And obviously being discreet.
I know. I know. I've got some stories I need to add to my book on that one.
Sure.
Yeah. One of my shopper had such a lovely experience. She went back the next day to give a thank you card to the assistant.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, that kind of defeated the whole objective of mystery shopping and being discreet. but
It does.
that's really lovely.
It does. It's very sweet.
So you were saying also you're working globally, so you are based in the UK, but you've got branches in different countries as well. So you recruiting mystery shoppers in different countries as well.
That's it, all over the world.
Yeah.
We mainly do field work in the UK, but we do have some global programs, and we will try and do as many ourselves. And then we've got lots of other partners in the MSPA that we work with to help us cover areas that we haven't got yet, full coverage. Which is, so just a lot of clients obviously are global these days, aren't they? A lot of businesses, and just making sure that we can offer that is really important to us.
Yeah, so again, you mentioned MSPA, so the Mystery Shopping Professional Association, which we are members on. And if any organizations, looking to employ a mystery shopping company, it's something that we always say, just, wherever you are in the world, go on MSPA, whether it's America or Asia or Europe, and then find a company from there and maybe connect with a few of them and see how you get on. It's very personal, mystery shopping, isn't it?
Definitely. And I think the MSPA, a lot of us, we all share the same values, don't we? We're all very similar in our outlook, and it was one of the things that really grew my sort of passion for what we did when I first started, was going to the first conference and sort of being in a room with everyone together and really seeing this bigger mission that we've all got to help customer experiences all over the world is amazing. And so it's a great place to look for. There's so hundreds of fantastic mystery shopping companies out there, isn't it? And bringing us all together is great.
Yeah, I think one of the first thing I did when I went to the conference is I didn't have to explain what mystery shopping was. You can start a conversation straight away, because you don't have to spend 10 minutes explaining what you do before you can get into the next level. So that's also good. Good thing with networking and, talking the same language.
Definitely the same language, and understanding the mystery shoppers and what all the two sides that we have of our business, don't we? We have the clients and we have the shoppers, and I think it's definitely really, really good to not have to explain what we do.
Absolutely. Well, this is really super nice to have had you here today. 29 years in business, that's just amazing. You just the next generation to kind of what's to come. Where do you think things are going? I mean, obviously COVID-19 has changed so much. How do you see the next 6-12 months going in terms of mystery shopping, in terms of customer experience?
I think it's going to keep changing, but I really do think it's for the better. I think more online, more digital channels, thinking, completely differently, seeing Zoom calls for selling mobile phones and things like that is amazing. And I really hope that a lot more of that continues. So I think it's going to be changing, but mystery shopping is such a key part of a lot of our clients, their business, because it keeps everything going. It's managing performance, it's managing and checking compliance, ensuring the customer experience, keeping the culture together. There's so many different reasons for mystery shopping, and it is so cost effective compared to a lot of the other solutions out there. So cost effective. So I think we are going to keep thriving, and we'll change with all of our clients, won't we? And it'll be amazing.
Yes, absolutely. And if anybody wants to get in touch with you, where do they go?
If they go to mystery-shoppers.co.uk or email us at inquiries@mystery-shoppers.co.uk, and we'll be happy to help anybody, shoppers or clients.
I'll put the link here, and yes, so you've got both on your website. I'm guessing you'll have a shoppers part of it, and you'll have the other side as well. And do you do the training as well for shoppers?
We've done some training for shoppers, yes, on their portal. There's different training programs for them to go on. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
to have you today.
for
And,
inviting me.
hopefully we'll see you very soon, virtually or live, maybe next year, hopefully, for our conference.
I hope so.
Yes, definitely. And I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.